You come here to Alabama and it can be really discouraging because you have a lot of people who are good people, really moral people. We're in the buckle of the Bible Belt here. So you've got a ton of people who are good people who've gone to church their whole lives, yet don't know the Lord. And I think without a doubt, the thing that I love about the Navigators more than anything else is just the relational aspect of it. You don't get lost in the mix. You're really connected and you're really part of something.
Well, in the fall of '04, we knew that our time at Penn State was coming to a close and that the Navigators were going to ask us to come to the Southeast and plant a campus. And I was having a quiet time one morning and I was thinking, I don't want to do this alone. And so I just made a short list that morning with the Word open and just prayerfully just made a short list of people that came to my mind who I thought would be really good candidates to ask to come with us to help start a ministry. And I knew it was going to be a hard sell, but I just prayed and said, Lord, if this would be a good idea, if this would be pleasing to you, I want to ask these people to come with us and start something. And that's what we did.
We came down here with Jason and Christine and Caitlin and John and Laura, and it was really tough to start the ministry. We didn't know one single student.
And we just pinpointed 2 dorms, Patey Hall and Tutwiler Hall. And Patey is just an all-men's dorm. And we just sent the guys in there with surveys. And we just sat in the lobby and handed out free pizza. And we had 3 questions on our survey. Would you be interested in having a Bible study with other guys in your hall? Would you be interested in a weekly poker game? And would you be interested in having someone share with you the main theme of the Bible? If they checked yes to any of those, we were following up with them in their dorm.
I know Julie and we would go into the dorm sometime at Penn State and they would just laugh at us and just make fun of the fact that we are trying to recruit for a Bible study. And I think it was really shocking because I came to Alabama and I went through the dorms and knocked on doors, and I had probably 50 girls say that they wanted to be in Bible study, but only 5 girls came, and then the next semester all of them kind of fell away or transferred or just kind of weren't interested, and so I was really discouraged.
Because of the culture of Christianity here, everyone says, yes, I love Jesus, yes, I love God, yes, I want to be in a Bible study, but that doesn't necessarily play into their actual desire to dive into the Word and to grow closer to God. As we continued to reach out to students, but found that the majority of our time, we didn't have that many students to interact with. And so our job at that point was just trying to come up with activities, trying to come up with something that students would want to get involved in.
By the end of the first semester, we had about 5 or 6 students that were hanging out with us, and we were all looking at each other saying, it's not going well.
Mm-hmm. We were outnumbering the students.
We were outnumbering the students on everything we were doing.
And so we just prayed that God would put people in our paths that wanted to know Him and wanted to know the Word and know Jesus and encounter Him. And so slowly and little by little, God started producing fruit from our efforts and our labor.
We didn't want to jump in and try to win people over with good music and a good program, but we decided that we just desired to start with freshmen and to really build deep relationships and pray that God would bless those relationships and bless them generationally, that these students, once the Lord and the gospel transformed their thinking and their way of life, that they would be motivated then by the love of Christ to go to others.
And so that was a very long work, but so rewarding here as we sit 2.5 years later, knowing that we've got probably 40 students that are juniors now that now have a vision to help other students, and God's going to send them who knows where in the world to continue doing that.
The Lord provided a couple girls who were really interested and who sought me out and who wanted to meet with me. And so now, it's pretty amazing because I have 2 Bible studies and about 5 or 6 girls that I meet with on a weekly basis, and I just see the Lord working in their lives, and they're really learning and wanting to grow and keep going.
As far as the gospel moving on the campus, it's the Navigator vision, and I think why we even sign on. with the Navigators and why we were compelled by the calling is because it's the power of one. You know, it's the power of the individual going to an individual or a small group of individuals who are committed to living in the context of where they're at in the university setting. And so what we've seen is some really encouraging things is that our students have gotten that vision. We have several students who are moving back into the dorms as upperclassmen for the purpose of having a ministry with a younger generation.
Just to see a ministry that started with nothing and has grown into Greeks and independents and blacks and whites and Hispanics is just unbelievable. You know, at the beginning of this year, the beginning of last year, it's always just something to watch all the new freshmen come in and just see the ministry grow as a whole new class of people get connected to the ministry. It's just, it's awesome.
They're being compelled by the Great Commission to go into all nations making disciples. First in Jerusalem, to Judea, to Samaria, to the ends of the world. And right now, this is their Jerusalem. And when they leave, they're going out into Judea and Samaria and the ends of the earth with this calling to disciple in their contexts, to win the lost.